Stabilizing exercise, that means some strength exercising, explosivity or explosiveness, and passing, shooting. We'll see, again, motion's important with or without the ball, as you can see here already. Maybe try to figure it out yourself, and then in a few minutes time I'll try to explain once I've discovered what this is all about.
Gute Pass, vamos, gute Pass. Hier, die Pass. Gut. Vamos, vamos, die Pass, ein bisschen mehr. Hey, ein bisschen mehr, ein bisschen mehr. Komm. Vamos, vamos, komm. Gut, gut. Sehr gut, Rubel Pass. Komm, no corras hacia adelante. Juan, gut. Pass. Sehr gut. Hier, Bewegung. Pass, Pass. Gut. Kimi, du acá aquí, Kimi. Komm, komm. Vamos, sehr gut. Hier. Na, schnell, der Pass. Gut, gut. Tiefer. Sehr gut. Keine Zeit, keine Zeit. Komm, schnell. Der Pass ist schnell. Vamos, Pass ist schnell. Das ist Kontra. Vamos. Du brauchst Control. Kein Problem. Okay, gut. Tiefer. Sehr gut. Komm.
So I suppose you could say this is a little unusual, this exercise, in the sense that it really is only a passing and positional exercise, but of course it does incorporate these two elements. Obviously a little bit of physical exercise as well, some jumping around these blocks here and some sprinting up and down, but usually the coaches do like to integrate some shooting at the back of these exercises as well. Not today. This is, as you can see, a passing and also positional exercise, important for the players to hold their positions and to move into the right spot. Earlier on today, I was fortunate to hear an interview with Philipp Lahm, who was asked, what's that one thing you think that the Man City players need to be aware of? What do they have to prepare for? What's that one thing that Pep Guardiola wants from them in a game? And he said, I thought it was quite interesting, the one thing that you have to do under Pep is you have to hold your position. You have to stay in your position, you have to be in your position, because that's how Pep Guardiola helps the team. That's how these tactics works. You're free to do what you want to do within that position and on that position, but keeping your position, holding your position, he said that's the one thing that you need to do in Pep's system, and this kind of an exercise certainly helps there. And you can see the players do have to move intelligently, should I say.
Now, here. Now it's lean on a crab. Okay. Ohne Kraft. Klar, hey, klar. Pass da. Outside, okay. Ine, that. Finish, Javi Martínez. Klar. Sí, al otro lado. Ante la liga de aquí. Klar. Pass. Okay, pass. Okay, now here. Upside. Now with Frank. Okay. Good. Okay, hey. Okay. Good pass. Upside. Okay. Good. Yes. Sehr gut. Ein bisschen mehr schnell. Venga, ein bisschen mehr schnell. Vamos. Javi, in the mitte. Vamos, gute Pass. Komm, schnell. Da, Upside. Ine. Gut.
Lorenzo,
Rubel Pass.
viens faire un cuir.
On est klar.
On est prêté.
Komm. Gut.
So if you're asking yourself how, when you watch Bayern Munich play and other top teams play, how they manage to play one-touch football all over the pitch and how they outmaneuver 10 men in the box, this is the answer. This is what Bayern practice and the other top teams practice all season long. One-touch football, short passing, long passing, switching sides, playing the ball back and forth, and of course movement without possession is very important as well. Once you've conducted exercises like this, well, on a pretty much daily basis for a year or two, it becomes fairly automated. You know exactly what to do. All of this obviously looks fairly easy and effortless for those of you who have played football yourself. Even if this doesn't look that impressive, you know, if you try this with lower league teams, these exercises, it looks very different because you'll always have that one stray pass that ends the passing combination. But this, for instance, here, this rally in this group has been going on for what, 2 minutes or 3 minutes now? That means, was it 40, 50, 60 passes in succession, all precise, all where they're supposed to be. I've occasionally, of course, this season and in the past seasons too, we've been able to, is expected. And then you can see there in the background Mario Götze just down the top left of your screen. Let's see who the next one is. So that maybe Müller. You keep your eyes on Müller at the top a little bit. Here you can see. This is typical that you have this passing exercise, but at the same time, there are little individual strengthening exercises, or like Götze now, he has to jump across these hoops. Again, that's not particularly strenuous. It is if you've done it 15 times before and you're asked to do it the 16th, 17th, 18th, 19th, and 20th time. That's when it starts getting hard. When these training sessions are over, sometimes you watch these sessions and you think to yourself, it looks fun to do it. You know, there's a lot of passing. That's very typical, of course, of Pep Guardiola, that nearly every single exercise is with the ball. There's very, very few sessions where the players actually run laps across the pitch. I don't think I've seen any session ever that wasn't in pre-season. Of course, there are pre-season training sessions where the players do run laps occasionally, but that's very, very rare. So you tend to think, when you look at it from here, well, they're just passing the ball around a little bit and it's fun, and they must be enjoying themselves. And then you start thinking back to Felix Magath and other coaches and think to yourself, do they really work hard enough? Is this really enough? But when you have the opportunity to see the players leave the training pitch, then you can see in their faces just how hard all of this is. Again, this is probably not the hardest exercise they've conducted all season long, but they're focused, they're constantly in motion, they're passing, they're concentrated, which of course is also strenuous in itself. And with all these little exercises in between, where they're forced to jump across obstacles or short step around poles, it does get hard after a while. So if there are any other more questions that I can feebly attempt to answer, then you can post them. Of course, you should use that opportunity. Again, I think this is going to be the last live training session in a long time. At least the last one for before the summer break, and then of course the majority of the squad isn't going to join the first couple of weeks of Bayern training at the beginning of July. That's when the squad will come, we'll get back together, we'll reconvene in Munich. But when I say squad, of course, the majority of the players will still be involved in the Euro, or will have already gone out of the Euro, but they'll join later. Thomas Müller, for instance, the good chance that he might be involved in European Championship football for quite a while. Germany certainly one of the favourites to win it, the reigning world champions. Speaking of world champions, there's Mario Götze winning goal in the World Cup final. Yeah, a bit of a season of ups and downs for Mario Götze. had a few injuries to battle, and I think the last one in particular obviously still requires time for him to overcome completely and fully. Jerome Boateng also had that injury that kept him out for 3.5 months, but they should all be fit and ready and in good shape to play for Germany at the European Championships, and then hopefully return injury-free, where they will face a new coaching staff then in Munich to hopefully play a similarly successful season, if not even more successful season. When I say that, again, it's a little early to really finally summarize this season. We still have a big game ahead.
Now link, out. Good, in the middle, Mario. Mario number 9, election. Get the link. There we go. Come. Again, come. There we here. Double pass. Vamos. Vamos, get the link. Here, get the link. Good. Double pass. Perfect.
Well, Lorenzo Bonaventura seems happy with the way this exercise is conducted. I suppose you could call this exercise creating space for your wingers, although I'm sure you can outmaneuver your opposition with passes like this in the center as well. But you can see the motion there on the sideline, so to speak, on the outside of this exercise. Götze just now, Lewandowski, Lahm, Boateng. Well, that didn't work perfectly. But in the double pass, Lahm, Müller. We are planning, by the way, to conduct a few more exclusive interviews on FTB TV in the next couple of days, hopefully before the Cup final, with some players. So you should keep your eye out for that for another 10 days or so. We're going to fire on all cylinders to entertain you for the rest of the football season. And there's a bit of a break, although we will certainly not close down Zebena Street throughout the summer. There'll be news programs, of course. Our social media department will be working, as always, non-stop to provide you with all the information and possibly entertaining snippets that we can find throughout the summer. We'll certainly have a look at the European Championships as well, and see how the Bayern players do there. And a lot of them about. Robert Lewandowski with the Polish national team, obviously several German internationals, Coman with France, David Alaba, key player for the Austrian national team that, while certainly not a tournament favorite, is looking stronger than it has in many, many years. Same goes, of